Tonight on CFTK-TV News, the search continues for a man gone missing in the Skeena River. Local businesses get creative in the wake of struggling sales and a precursor to the upcoming Riverboat Days.
Northwest BC's only television news team. We are CFTK-TV News.
Hello, and thanks for joining us on this Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. I'm Jaylene Matthews. No new updates today from officials on the search for the missing man who went into the river on Saturday evening, but family and community continue to search. Thomas Kelly was fishing near Usk and was last seen in the water before family lost sight of him. A GoFundMe has been set up by the family to assist in the search efforts with over $7,000 raised. Volunteers have continued to help in the search with boats and drones, scanning shorelines, sandbars, and islands. The rise of online shopping has sparked concerns among small businesses, and in Terrace, it's inspired action. Here's CFTK-TV's Helen Asante with more.
While competing with online retail remains tough, Shop Local Days brought a much-needed spark of engagement and connection with the community. Several businesses took part, offering deals and events to reconnect with their customers. A local shop owner shared her reason behind the initiative.
Local Days is just a campaign that I started to kind of bring back the focus to local businesses during Amazon Prime Days. It's very easy for people in this world to just click a button, you have what you need at your door. But I wanted to bring the focus back to Terrace and all the amazing small businesses that we have in town here.
It's nice that we were able to participate in Shop Local because it is important for other businesses that we all jump on board. Our customers come in who are looking for our product and our services and are surprised there's a sale on. We didn't expect it to be much more than that. However, we'll continue our sale right through the rest of the summer.
Brittany acknowledged the support but also highlighted the growing challenges local shops face due to the rise of online shopping.
It's definitely a challenge for bookstores because when we order in special books, it won't be on your doorstep in 2 or 3 days. It might take 2 or 3 weeks sometimes. But I think the biggest thing that we offer is we are booksellers, so we are able to make personalized recommendations to our customers. We know what you've been reading, we know what you may like. There's a much more personal touch with coming into a bookstore.
Shop Local Days specific, like the 8th to the 11th, that was definitely a slow period. But the weekend picked up. This was the first time I did the Shop Local, and now next year people will know if we do it again, so then they'll be prepared. Because we've got an awesome business community here in Terrace with really, really cool people, so I wanted to be a part of that to get people to remember that, these small businesses rely on them.
Despite the challenges, few shop owners say the initiative brought renewed energy and a reminder that shopping local isn't just tradition, it's essential. Helen Asante, CFTK-TV News.
The biggest event of the summer in Terrace is set to arrive in less than a month. CFTK-TV's Kale Maslin has a preview on what can be expected for 2025's version of Riverboat Days.
With the summer season being in full swing, it's a great time for communities in the Northwest to put on the kinds of events that can be enjoyed by everyone. And in the city of Terrace, their most prominent celebration in Riverboat Days is set to arrive in only a couple of weeks from now. As per usual, there's expected to be a vast selection of activities to take part in.
We have our traditional programs, our parade, our concerts in the park. The other events like the movie in the park or the beach volleyball are booked. They're being planned. I'm sure we'll have some special events.
Last year's edition of the event also saw the debut of its drone show, a display where around 100 or so drones lit up the night sky and created some incredible imagery, with this year's version of the show supposed to have around 50 more drones to add to the experience, and like the previous year, it will take place at Christie Park. Some other featured events taking place include a slow pitch tournament, a basketball tournament, the Skeena 7 art show, and concerts in the park, who's featuring Derek Miller as the headliner this year, alongside performers like the Infirmary and the Coastal Drifters. The entire celebration starts on August 1st and will last until August 10th, with more information being available on the Riverboat Days website. For CFTK-TV News, I'm Kale Maslin.
Police in Terrace are looking for the owner after locating a motorbike. RCMP say on June 12th, a motorbike was located in Thornhill. The RCMP has not yet been able to identify the owner of the motorbike and are looking to the public for assistance. If you're able to provide identifying features of the bike and proof of ownership, please contact the Terrace RCMP. Coming up next, BC braces for drought. Although the Northwest isn't affected yet, drought conditions are striking some areas of BC. Here's CTV's Robert Buffum.
Hot and drier than normal conditions, combined with the snowpack melting earlier than usual, have the province raising awareness and concern about drought, especially in the southern interior and northeast of BC.
We all have a critical role to conserving our water this summer, especially in areas where we're facing water scarcity.
As a result, water conservation is being urged. Folks asked not to wash their cars every week or water their lawns daily. Turn off the tap when brushing their teeth. But mandatory water restrictions may have to be imposed if weather conditions persist.
These are things that we can all take that allows us not to make those tough choices to have to turn off the taps, for example, for different industries or different users.
For ranchers, including Brad Chappell in the Comox Valley, battling the challenges of summer drought have become all too familiar parts of the job. He's harvesting crops before they get too dry and buying feed from other sources because it's too parched to grow enough on his farm.
For the person sitting at home, it's like going to work for 2 weeks and maybe not getting paid as much as they should get paid, right?
It's not just farmers dealing with the dangers of dryness. River ecosystems and the fish that spawn in them as well. Some rivers already facing low levels, putting salmon at risk.
Levels drop, fish might not be able to reach their spawning habitats, will disconnect habitat.
The government says some communities, it won't say which ones, are not being careful with water. Up to 70% of total water use in some areas is residential. And it's pleading with people to be more mindful.
So we're asking everybody listening today to be able to do those tiny little things that they may think won't make a difference, but it absolutely does.
Whether any restrictions are imposed likely depends on how much rain we get in the coming weeks.
Robert Buffum, CTV News, Victoria.
The wildfire situation in Manitoba continues to be dire as many remain evacuated. CTV's Andrew Johnson reports.
In Manitoba, there are hundreds of kilometers of scorched earth and thousands of people on the run, hoping to soon return home.
Sooner the better for everybody here.
There are 12,000 Manitobans from 8 communities living in limbo, holed up in different cities, wherever room can be found.
Manitoba currently has over 6,000 individuals in hotels, occupying over 2,100 hotel rooms in Manitoba. And there are 1,300 people in hotel rooms in Ontario.
The newest arrivals over the weekend came from the northern Garden Hill First Nation. It's unreachable by road, so they've been flown to Winnipeg with help from the Canadian Forces. There is also help on the front line, fire crews from Australia, New Zealand, and Mexico. In Saskatchewan, Lake Country is on high alert with a fire threatening Prince Albert National Park. A portion of the park is closed, and 40 kilometers away, people in the resort town of Waskesiu are looking over their shoulders.
I'm staying positive. I live close to the lake. I don't think it's going to be a big deal, but it's scaring away some of the crowd here. You can tell the campground's kind of cleared out.
In BC, relief for the people of Princeton and the province's southwest. Dozens of families were forced to leave with flames as close as 300 meters from homes. They got the all clear to return, grateful for fire crews.
Those guys flew right into the night. They brought the guys in with night vision. They worked right through, I think, about 1 o'clock last night, 2:30 the night before, just pounding this fire to keep it away from town.
2025 is on pace to be the second most severe fire season ever. 53,000 square kilometers of Canadian land has burned. That's more than twice the yearly average, and it's only July. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
An increase in extreme weather has also led to an increase in power outages. CTV's Ruxar Ali has more.
Extreme weather events have left thousands of Canadians without power, sometimes for weeks, and climate change could make it worse.
The grid that we have today has not been designed for accommodating such extreme scenarios.
Between 2013 and 2023, Canada's 10 most significant weather events that impacted power grids caused about 20 million electricity interruptions to customers.
More shortfalls can occur during these extreme weather events, and it poses a serious concern for reliability.
A recent report from the North American Electric Reliability Corporation, or NERC, found that most provinces were found to be increasingly vulnerable during extreme weather, putting them at risk of shortfalls. Nova Scotia, one of the most vulnerable.
We've had Hurricane Dorian, Hurricane Fiona, which is the biggest storm we've ever had in Nova Scotia. We had Hurricane Lee, we've had wildfires, floods, pretty much everything, and all of those have weakened the power system.
Utilities like this in the province are taking some future-proofing steps by swapping out older poles with stronger ones.
The lightning hits, and all of a sudden there is a short circuit.
At the University of Toronto's Grid Modernization Centre, Ali Hushiar and his team are running real-time simulations using super-powered computers to find solutions. One solution is smart technology. That includes sensors and software to communicate information along the grid, to make supply decisions faster and to minimize disruptions when the grid's under pressure. Climate change isn't the only factor putting pressure on the grid. So is increased demand, with more people using everything from electric vehicles to heat pumps.
We're going to need more wind, more solar, more hydro, more nuclear to be able to meet the challenges of the future.
And the artificial intelligence boom is another potential challenge. Massive amounts of electricity needed to run thousands of servers.
10 years ago, if we were told that 10 years later, one of your biggest challenges is going to be AI data centers, people would think that this is just science fiction.
The major challenge is meeting Canada's energy needs before demand outpaces progress. But with more frequent extreme weather events and more strain on the grid, that task is becoming more urgent. Ruxar Ali, CTV News, Toronto.
Let's take a look at your Northwest weather report. Tonight on the North Coast, expect conditions to be clear with winds from the northwest at 20 kilometers an hour, gusting to 40, a low of 12 degrees. Over the next few days on the North Coast, expect some steady sunshine with maybe a few clouds and the temperature hovering around 17 degrees. Overnight lows between 11 and 12 degrees. Tonight in the Terrace-Kitimat area, expect a few clouds, winds from the south at 20 kilometers an hour, gusting to 40 and becoming light this evening, a low of 12 degrees. Over the next few days in the Terrace-Kitimat area, expect the hot sunshine to stick around until Thursday. Then Friday, the temperature dips a little but stays in the 20s, overnight lows between 12 and 14 degrees. Tonight in the Bulkley Valley and Lakes District, it's looking clear, becoming partly cloudy this evening, a low of 9 degrees. Over the next few days in the Bulkley Valley and Lakes District, expect a chance of showers tomorrow, then warming temperatures getting into the weekend, daily highs between 23 and 29 degrees, overnight lows between 11 and 13 degrees. Checking your Northwest highways now. On Highway 16, there's construction in Prince Rupert with a detour in effect, as well as bridge maintenance, line painting, utility work, and mowing going on. On Highway 37, watch for bridge construction and maintenance, as well as frost heaves and crack sealing. On Highway 37A, there's paving operations, road sweeping, as well as a section with falling rocks. On the Niska Highway, there's line painting going on. And this is what the roads were looking like this afternoon around the region from the view of the province's highway cams. Still to come, experts weigh in on a shifting real estate market. The shifting economy has resulted in changes to the real estate market. Here's CTV's Craig Krause.
Real estate in BC is seeing a slight shift.
Markets on the island, markets in the interior have more or less gotten back to normal after a pretty slow start to the year.
Sales across the province up 1.3% from last year. The average home price falling more than 4% to below $955,000. But there is one region still lagging.
A normal month for the Greater Vancouver region for July is like 3,000 sales. We're about 2,100 or so.
Greater Vancouver down 9% year over year in June. The Fraser Valley not far behind.
In June, it did clock in at record low sales. It's a 20-year low for sales. That's just a reality.
Vancouver area realtor Amy Luong remains busy, but says the industry isn't what it was a decade ago. The downtown condo market is soft, as detached homes further east gain steam, a glimmer of hope during a roller coaster of a year.
And now we're in this, interesting environment, we'll say that, globally.
An environment that the BC Real Estate Association believes was brought on by several economic factors, one being
tariffs. The higher the tariff.
Another tariff threat just last week, leaving Canadian industries holding their breath and employees feeling the pressure in preparing for possible layoffs.
This is just the latest in what I expect to be an interminable saga of threats and counter threats and climb downs. And so businesses, if they're going to make a long-term plan, at this point, the long-term plan has to be that this is the new normal, and businesses have to be able to respond to it.
So I just think that, if they lift the foreign buyers ban, there's obviously been some chat.
A potential tool to bring relief, regardless, as many wait to see what happens next. Luong remains active and believes the future is bright.
This month, I think we're close to 10 deals. So I think for us, we're very positive people. I do feel optimistic. It's just we have to get over this hump right now.
Craig Crow, CTV News, Vancouver.
Seal pups spotted alone are causing concern. Here's CTV's Brendan Strain with more.
Over the last few weeks, we've gotten some reports of harbor seals being left by themselves on the beach.
With it being pupping season, that isn't an uncommon situation. Often mothers will leave their young for a short period of time on shore while foraging for food. What is uncommon and almost incomprehensible is what was reported to Wildfire last week, stemming from an incident in Victoria's Inner Harbor near Fisherman's Wharf.
The most concerning of the reports involved a tourist kicking one back into the water, and then another tourist went into the water to try and retrieve it.
Outside of the animal cruelty that was involved, Molly Cameron from Wildfire says it's illegal to get too close or to touch wildlife. Another incident from last week in Esquimalt set off more alarm bells for her organization.
We've had another incident of a pup alone on Sax Point Park, and a lot of people crowding around it, posting its location online, which, well-intentioned likely, but draws in a bigger crowd and then creates a lot of stress for that animal.
Many of the calls coming in are people observing what they feel is a harbor seal pup that does need to be rescued. Not always the case.
If in fact a seal pup has been abandoned, the Vancouver Aquarium Marine Mammal Rescue Society will step in.
I'd say we have 5 or 6 specifically from the southern part of Vancouver Island right now.
What should you do if you encounter a seal pup alone on the beach?
The aquarium has produced a slick video outlining what you should do if you come across a baby seal that you think may be in trouble.
Whoa, wait, don't touch it. Stay back, keeping pets and people away. Call the Vancouver Aquarium Marine Mammal Rescue Society.
And then we can run through a series of questions on what to do in certain instances.
You'll most likely be asked to take a picture of the seal from a safe distance away. Note its location, and the aquarium will evaluate its health. If it's been left for more than 24 hours or assessed to be in poor health, the aquarium will send help.
We shouldn't be touching marine mammals at all, unless, again, you are a trained professional, whether it's with your feet or your hands or anything. You should be 100 meters away from it at all times.
Brendan Strain, CTV News, Victoria.
Turning to the markets now, Canada's main stock index fell while U.S. stock markets were mixed. The Canadian dollar fell close to 1/10 cent. The price of gold dropped $22.40. Oil fell 44 cents. Natural gas was up 6 cents. Aluminum dropped $5.50. In Toronto, the TSX was down 145 points. The Venture Index dropped 4. In New York, the Nasdaq was up 37 points and the Dow Jones was down 436 points. Still ahead, rescuers continue to search for the missing in Texas. Policy changes have resulted in a Canadian man who worked and lived in the States being denied entry. CTV's Josh Smith has more.
It definitely has made a tremendous mountain out of a molehill.
Chris Landry had hoped to be back home in New Hampshire by now, but his visit to see his family near Shediac has been extended after he was turned away at the border.
I was absolutely shocked. I've crossed the same port of entry since 2007 with no issues at all.
Landry has lived in the States since he was 3 and has a green card and works in manufacturing. He says border guards in Houlton told him he couldn't enter because of a marijuana conviction nearly 20 years ago.
It's terrible. It's, everything in my life is essentially put on hold. But my primary concern right now is, how's my family going to survive at home without me?
Moncton lawyer and former Justice Minister Mike Murphy was surprised to hear about the situation.
It really concerns me because now Canada is being treated like really every other nation in the world, despite our social and economic integration.
Murphy has some advice for Canadians living in the U.S.
I would suggest that they look very carefully at trying to become U.S. citizens, that they look deeply into their past.
Right now, Landry is trying to clear those old charges so he can get back to his partner and 5 children.
I'm hopeful that, we can get this cleaned up and I can go home and resume my life, my quiet life, just going to work and raising my kids and trying to provide a good future for them.
Landry says he's never applied for citizenship because he's a 3rd-generation green card holder, and this has never been a problem before. But if he's allowed back home, it is one of the first things he'll do. Josh Smith, CTV News, Shediac, New Brunswick.
The search continues at the scene of the Texas flash flooding as more than 100 people remain missing.
In Kerrville, Texas, crews on the front line searching for the missing. This group is from Nuevo León, Mexico, here on tourist visas. He says they were ordered to stop searching to keep everyone safe after recent rain, the river too strong and dangerous with the rising waters. The number of people still missing dropping to 101 Monday from over 160, as more victims of the July 4th floods have been identified and the missing accounted for. Still, so many families left with unanswered questions. New evacuation details emerging from Camp Mystic. According to a family spokesperson, the executive director began getting campers to higher ground 45 minutes after the National Weather Service issued an alert about life-threatening flash flooding. They had no information that indicated the magnitude of what was coming, he said. They got a standard run-of-the-mill NWS warning that they've seen dozens of times before. The memorial for more than 100 victims growing every day.
We don't know how many we've lost. We've heard accounts of trailer after trailer after trailer being swept into the river with families in them. Can't find the trailers.
That's our news for now. Thanks for watching.